Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. Chelsea news, transfer updates, all that sort of stuff as the season comes to its conclusion. Yes, we've got 2 games remaining, but we'll be diving into the Brighton game tomorrow. But there's a bit of news to go through. Mauricio Pochettino reportedly wants to stay at Chelsea. He's got the backing of the squad. We've got the latest on Andrey Santos' future after he scored his first goal for Strasbourg last night. We've got more news on injuries. Ben Chilwell and Carney Chukwuemeka are set to miss the final 2 games of the season, kind of in a dark over to what those issues actually are. And more injury reports have come out detailing how Chelsea have had the most injuries across the last 3 seasons in the Premier League, which is kind of mad. We're going to dive into all that stuff, guys, all that stuff. Plenty to get into as always. Make sure you're smashing the thumbs up button as soon as you come into the stream. Get those likes up. Please also subscribe, guys, if you are new round here. Just 15 subscribers away now from 9K. 15 to go. So make sure if you're locked in now and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. There's no reason why we couldn't potentially see those subscribers off in this stream. So 15 subs from 9,000. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get this show on the road, people. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you get involved in the chat as always, guys. Let's see what everyone is saying. I prefer to keep pushing because I think we'll do well with a fully fit squad next season, and we must get Champions League football. Yeah, obviously the next season the Champions League is a must. Don't see Newcastle dropping points at United. I think Chelsea will finish 7th and get Europa Conference League, and City will beat United in the FA Cup. Yeah, look, to be honest, Newcastle, I know obviously they're going to Old Trafford. Let's be real, Man United are absolutely dreadful. I don't think we can rely on them for any favours. All we can hope for is maybe that the roof leaks again, waterlogs the pitch, and that game's cancelled, and they can't play it again this season. Maybe that's our best hope. But I can't remember what Newcastle's last game of the season is, but yeah, 6th place is obviously within our grasp, but it's going to require Newcastle to score, to drop points. I don't see us overturning. I don't see there being a 10 goal swing in goal difference over the last 2 games. I really don't. Yeah, great to see him back. Fantastic to have him back on the pitch. Hopefully, he gets more minutes again on Wednesday night. Look, let's wait and see what happens with Chile. I've always maintained with Chile that let's see what you've got for me next season. Can you stay fit for the majority of the season, at least 3/4 of it? If you can and you produce to a decent level, fine. If you're not producing and you're in a situation where again you're still picking up injuries and you're missing large parts of the season, then yeah, unfortunately it could well be time to go. Yes, evening, Wes. Hope you're doing well, brother. I think we should give Poch a chance because we don't normally keep managers for long anyway. We sack them year after year. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Look, 6 points gives us a chance. That's what it does give us. But of course, as I've said, it's not in our hands. All we can do is put the points on the board, and what will happen with Newcastle. But if we do end up coming 7th, what we absolutely cannot afford to happen is for Man United to win the FA Cup. Because if Man United win the FA Cup and we come 7th, we don't get any European football, because that Europa League place, that 6th would go to the FA Cup winners, and then 6th would become the Conference League, meaning 7th gets no football. So if we finish 7th, Man United absolutely cannot win the FA Cup. Otherwise, we'll have no European football next season, which would be a shambles. Newcastle last game's Brentford away. Fair, difficult. Thoughts on them? Again, I don't know that. I mean, I think the source of that wasn't great. And if that does turn out to be true, then I haven't really got a massive problem with it. It looks like it's just another exploration of a rule. The rules are there. So and if the rules allow that, then that's kind of it. Again, it's similar to selling the hotel to yourself. I don't think it's I don't know. I don't look at it as a massive issue. Are you going to kick the levels in your kick-up merchant model? That's the question. Are we really in for Osimhen? Yeah, Potter's definitely earned another season, 100%. Look, there's definitely interest in Osimhen. I think, obviously, the wages are going to be a problem. And the release clause is a problem as well. Well over £100 million. I don't know if Chelsea are looking to spend that much on a striker or what the plans are, but Osimhen is definitely a player the club like, definitely a player that they're interested in. But again, if they haven't decided how much money they want to spend on a new striker yet. They have been in discussions with Osimhen's agent and the agents of Benjamin Sesko as well. So let's see what comes of that. But yeah, I mean, that's all we can do. Yes, big up. Made it for another Monday MNF tonight. Wonder if they'll discuss Chelsea's good form. Probably not, or they'll give it like a 5 or 10 minute segment and just brush over us. Now, mate, you got to do what you got to do. We City, you must. We'll all be swapping the Chelsea blue for light blue tomorrow night to make sure that Arsenal don't win the Premier League title. Yes, big up. What a turnaround Saturday. Thoughts on who will actually sign this summer? It's difficult to tell. We're linked with a lot of names as you'd expect, but who actually ends up coming through the door is going to be interesting. I don't really know the answers to that. There's names who've been linked with more strongly than others, but it's hard to say with any degree of certainty. I think this player or this player is definitely going to come through the door. I think you could say a centre forward will arrive, probably a left back potentially, and a centre back will arrive. But outside of that, I've got absolutely no idea. A lot of it could be on a 1 in, 1 out basis, depending on who leaves. Does a replacement come in and whatnot? Only time will tell. But yeah, big up everyone in the chat anyway, guys. Keep smashing the like, subscribing to the channel if you're new around here, all that good stuff. We're 15 subs away from 9,000. Almost reached another milestone on the channel, guys. So big up to everyone. It's greatly appreciated. Let's make sure we get there tonight. Anyway, let's start with the news on... Let's start with Mauricio Pochettino then. There's an article in the Daily Mail last night stating... is it this one here? Yeah. Mauricio Pochettino wants to stay at Chelsea and is likely to cite the data when he sits down with the sporting directors Winstanley and Stewart and potentially the co-owners Eghbali and Feliciano. He has long argued that the numbers say Chelsea are competing like a top 4 team, and since Boxing Day, only Manchester City, Arsenal and Liverpool have picked up more points. It's kind of weird, like that he's having to go into this end of season meeting. I don't think it's I don't think it's a major issue in terms of sitting down at the end of the season discussing the manager's future. That's always been the case. That's been stated from very early on that was what will be happening at the halfway point of the 2-year contract he signed. They sit down and discuss the future, but the fact he almost has to try and prove himself seems a little bit strange. He wants to stay. Great. I think he deserves to stay. I think the club is on an upward trajectory at this point in time. Things are heading in the right direction. And look, whatever you think about data, and the club perhaps use data too much, and in instances where maybe they shouldn't use data. But the reality of the situation is, for me, is that Chelsea are a club on the up right now. The form's massively improved since Boxing Day. As I said, only the top 3 have taken more points than us. We're 4th in the table from there. We are improving as a team. We're scoring a lot more goals. Yes, defensively, we're not great. We are still conceding way too many goals, and we've shipped a club record amount of goals in the league this season. We're scoring so many more goals. We play a lot better football. We look a lot more dangerous as a side. And, whether you like Pochettino or not, it is the team have improved this season. And, he's played a big part in that, He has played a big part in that. More recently, he's shown a willingness to adapt tactically. In-game management's been better. Saw that the inverting Cucurella in the first half against Forest wasn't working. Reverted back to the back 4 in the second half, flat back 4. Made early substitutions. All the subs that came on made a difference. This is the more proactive Pochettino that we're looking for here. This is the more proactive Poch that myself and many others have been calling for a long time. For large parts of the season, it's not been there, but now the penny finally seems to be dropping, and he seems to be maybe, I don't say taking advice on board, but realizing that he has got more of an influence over what he can do. And, he's making some good decisions. The players like him. The squad seems to like him. And look, let's be real. He's had to deal with a lot of shit this season, constant speculation surrounding his future, an unprecedented injury crisis, trying to get a team to gel that don't even know each other. It's basically like we just grabbed a whole squad off the street and just chucked them into Cobham and like, right, okay, Poch, there you go. Make these guys into a team instantly. It feels like that's what's been done. I'm not saying he's been set up to fail or anything like that, but the job is difficult. There's no denying that. The job is very, very difficult. And I think all things considered, right, it's not where Chelsea want to be. It's not where we're used to the club being. I think all things considered, he's done a very good job, in my opinion. Have I been frustrated with him at times? Absolutely. Have I criticised him at times? Absolutely. Have there been times where I've become slightly disillusioned with him? Yes. Have there been times this season where I felt like I can't see how he's going to be here next season? Yes to all those questions. But the reality is I've never called for him to be sacked. I believe that managers deserve time. I believe that, you reap what you sow. Having a bit of patience will pay off in the long term. Having some patience in the long term will 100% pay off, people. There's no denying that whatsoever. It will pay off. But, too many people in this fan base don't have patience, have shiny object syndrome, think that the manager is the problem with the football club all the time, when the reality is very, very different. And at some point, Chelsea are going to have to back a manager through a difficult period and stick with them. And the fan base are going to have to do exactly the same as well. You can't just keep constantly calling for management to change and then wonder why, we've not really moved forward as a club anywhere. It used to work back in the day because, one, the football landscape the football landscape is very different. Secondly, the Premier League wasn't anywhere near as competitive. Thirdly, when we changed managers all the time under Roman, we had a squad that was capable of winning, and it just needed someone to guide it. We don't have all those things now. Modern day football doesn't lend itself to constantly chopping and changing managers all the time. The game doesn't really work like that anymore. But what are people saying in the chat? What do you people think? Do you think he needs? I bet Pochettino will stay next season. I hope so. I don't think we should make him sign another contract, perform with the pressure of being sacked. Or to be fair, there's an option for a third year anyway. It's a 2 year, it's a 2+1 deal. There's an option for a third. So it's not like he needs a new contract this summer. There is an option for a third year. Must say the team looks better and the bench is stronger. Yeah, it does. And once we get our options back, there's no surprise that things have been looking better for us. There's no surprise on that front, people. Pochettino deserved another chance. Personally, think next season he will compete. I wouldn't go that far, but there's no reason why we can't compete for the top four and make a very good run at finishing in the Champions League spaces next season. I fully believe that with the right signings, and having key players back from injury, there's no reason why we can't. Look, Arsenal and City will be the top two. We know that, but Liverpool under Arne Slot are going to be a team in transition. Villa are going to be having the Champions League to deal with. How are they going to cope with that? Spurs, United are terrible, but Newcastle, etc. Ourselves, that third place is potentially there for the taking, and the top four spot is absolutely there for the taking as well. Next season. Let's not get carried away with ourselves, but if we're looking at this, logically, a space in the top four is very much there for the taking next season. There's no denying it. If a few things have gone our way this season, if we'd started the season slightly better, we could have been making a run for the top four this season. But the top four is absolutely on next season. There's no denying that. Short-term contract won't get a big payoff like Potter did if we do let him go. I personally hope he stays. The players are clearly playing for him. Yeah, they absolutely are. Whenever you watch us, sorry guys, there's so much coming in. I will try and read out as much as I can. The way that this never say die attitude, the way that we've come back from behind in games this season, multiple occasions. We've rescued 19 points from winning occasions, with 5 of those games resulting in wins and the other 4 resulting in draws. We're doing very, very well. Very, very well. There's no denying that, people. There's a never say die attitude with the team right now. We keep going, we push to the end. We don't let our heads drop. And obviously, Arsenal game aside, but generally speaking, when we're down in a game, you have a confidence that the team are going to come back, and get something from it. And that's fair play to Pochettino for instilling that mentality and that mindset into such a young group of players. And it's testament to the players as well that at their young age, they've already got that kind of mentality and that drive and that desire in them, which is a massive, massive plus. Santos, Casadei, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, the future Chelsea midfield Galacticos. Think we just need one tall midfielder to complement them. Look, maybe. I mean, I'd probably leave Conor Gallagher in there. There's plenty of good options we've got at the club. If Pochettino stays, get him players he wants, and yeah, absolutely agree. Poch doesn't have winning DNA. That's my problem with him. Look, no one wins at Tottenham, so I think it's quite hard to hold that against him. Southampton weren't going to win anything. They played good stuff there. He won at PSG what everyone else wins. Okay, he's not won a great deal in his career, but he's not, other than PSG, he's not been at clubs that win anything. Espanyol don't win stuff. Neither do Spurs and neither do Southampton. So this is the first club outside of PSG where he did win, and he won what everyone wins there. This is the first club where he's been at where, it's a genuine, trophy competing club. And you know what? He should have had a trophy on the board this season. That's the reality of the situation, guys. He should have had a trophy on the board this season. He doesn't, but I think we're going in the right direction under him. This season is much better with good players. Last season was bad, but Poch has done okay job. Yeah, I think he has done okay job. Guys, I can't read all of this coming in, but yeah, if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, please do use the super chat function. As I've stated, guys, keep smashing the like button. 45 likes, 111 in the building. Let's get this up towards 100 likes. Smash that thumbs up button. And please subscribe as well, guys. We're 15 subscribers away now from 9,000. If you're new around here and you have not subscribed, make sure you do. And let's get those 15 subscribers chalked off in tonight's stream if we can. So smash the thumbs up button and subscribe as well, guys. We need Spurs to lose all our games, and the same with Newcastle, and we can get the 5th position. If that doesn't work out, we need City to win the FA Cup. Yeah, let's be honest. Spurs won't lose all their games. They're finishing the season away at Sheffield United, so even if they lose to Man City, they're bound to get at least a point or 3 from that game. Newcastle finishing away at United and away at Brentford. I don't see many points being dropped there, if I'm being perfectly honest, but do you know what? It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. There's a chance they could. You just never know. But do you know what? We can't worry about anyone else. All we can do is focus on ourselves, do what we need to do, which is get the 6 points on the board against Brighton and Bournemouth, and then whatever will be in terms of where we end up finishing. If we sign Poch, our standards have progressed immensely. The standards haven't progressed immensely. We're just not in a position to hit the standards that have been set. And right now, Mauricio Pochettino, in my opinion, is the right guy for the job, is the right guy for Chelsea at this current stage of this new Chelsea era. There's very few managers that have got a better record of developing young players and working with young players than him. Would he have been a choice if Chelsea were, like they were in the Roman days? No, probably not. But, right now, the young squad and all the upheaval at the club, he is a safe pair of hands. The players talk about how they've got a great relationship with him. His man management skills are very good. He looks after the young players in the right way. And you can see they genuinely enjoy playing for him. And they all talk very glowingly of him. So, yeah, look, for me, it makes sense. It makes sense for him to stay on all those levels. Let me just move on to, this... the fact that he's got the backing of the players, and that's something that's key. That holds a lot of weight, because we've seen it in the past where Chelsea players have not backed the manager, have not liked the manager, have not wanted to play for the manager. Even just go back to last season. I know a lot of those guys wanted out anyway, but they the way they disrespected Graham Potter, they weren't trying, they weren't bothered. We've now genuinely got a group of players that all want to be at this football club, and we've got a group of players that are playing for this manager and pulling in the right direction. And those are the sort of things that are really important, really important. That counts for so much. That matters, in my opinion, sort of more than, is he doing this tactical switch on, what's his training, what's his coaching methods and all not. He's cultivated an environment amongst these young group of players which they all really enjoy, playing, all really enjoy being a part of, and that's paying dividends on the football pitch. That is paying dividends on the football pitch, people. That's the reality here. It's paying dividends on the football pitch, and it's a really, really important thing because not many Chelsea managers have had the backing of the players. Several have improved as the season has progressed, with Moises Caicedo among those, now showing why he was signed for such a big fee. His first time passing to James in a build-up to Jackson's winner was crucial as an assist. It absolutely was. And look, there'll still be people that don't like the manager, and you're always going to get people that don't like the manager. But ultimately, the reality of the situation right now is that Chelsea would be making a huge mistake if they got rid of Mauricio Pochettino this summer. I am convinced of that. Absolutely convinced of that. That if we get rid of Pochettino this summer, not only will we be making a massive mistake, but next season we will regress. We will struggle because with young players you need continuity, you need familiar surroundings, and constantly chopping and changing the manager is not conducive to doing anything. It's not conducive to building anything at all at this football club. I mean, as I said, mate, the only way that's going to happen is if the pitch gets flooded and they have to call the game off. My concern for next season is if we sell Connor and we don't have Thiago Silva and Trev, how do we replace them? Yep, that's a fair point. That is absolutely a fair point. And yes, whilst this ownership have got things, whilst the recruitment team have got things right in the window, there's often been instances where they haven't, and I'm not sure. We absolutely need stability. John Terry has called for stability, over the weekend. He was calling for stability. This is the worst time to replace Poch, given all that transpired this season, injuries, and inexperienced players, and still on the cusp of European football. I absolutely agree. What if we lose our last two games? Yeah, because ultimately, we shouldn't be basing a manager's future on two games. You should be basing a manager's future on the bulk of the work that he's done this season. And for me, you look at it as, right, okay, are the team improving? Yes. Have individual players improved? Yes. Are Chelsea going in the right direction? Yes. Even if we were to lose our last two games, we'd still be in the top 4 or 5 for form in 2024. That is a progression. That is going in the right direction. We are playing better football. Players are coming back fit. This is the reality of the situation, guys, is that, we would be making a mistake, and every time, you have a conversation with someone that is desperate for the manager to go, you ask them for a realistic replacement who they think is going to do better, and they can't tell you one, or they say it's not their job to find one. Well, if you've got an opinion that the manager should go, then you have to also have an opinion on who you would like to come in and why you think they'd be a good choice. And too many can't do that. So that just goes to show. Just goes to show. No one can tell me. No one can tell me who is a credible, realistic replacement for Pochettino. They can't, because that person's not out there. All you're going to get is an inexperienced manager or an up and coming manager with a half beat, with a sort of a bit of a reputation, for potentially being, one of the next big coaches in the game. We're going to get someone that has been at a smaller club and wouldn't say no to Chelsea because it's the biggest club they've managed in their careers. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. Even if we lose, I still want him to stay. We have scored 73 goals compared to 38 goals last season, while scrambling for 6th, despite the games we lost from clumsy mistakes. I agree. It is. I mean, look, I'm not saying he's going to be the right guy long term, but if we're purely talking about next season, then he's absolutely the right person to be in charge. Now, we've got Brian's number. I don't see them winning, especially with the players we have back in the team. Yeah, look, all away games are tough. The away form's not been great this season, but yeah, I would expect us to win. I would expect us to win that game. We've improved in scoring goals last season. Our attack, yeah, last season the attack was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Gallagher must sign a new contract. Gallagher can do what? Look, Gallagher. If I was Conor Gallagher, I'd be running my contract down, and then see what happens. You know, there's been no offer of a new contract. He wants to stay at the football club. He's made that very clear. Pochettino wants him to stay, and now it's between Gallagher and the football club. If I'm Conor, I'm in no rush to go anywhere. And I'm under contract for one more year. I stay at the club, and then they either lose me on a free or they offer me a new deal. Half of our squad has been out the entire season. Many of the younger players are improving. The main key is fixing the medical team department. Do you generally think we absolutely need a striker next season, because Jackson can't do it all on his own, and Christopher Nkunku is not an out-and-out number 9. Yes, for now, Poch needs to stay. Oh, absolutely. There's no excuse not to win it. Even if we get Europa League, there's no excuse not to win it. Every time we've been in the Europa League, we've won it. For me, it is still the Spurs connection. I feel any other manager gets so much more fan backing. I understand that for some people is too much, but ultimately, what I would say is, you know, once that manager is in situ at Chelsea, I don't really care what they've done in the past. Obviously, Rafa Benitez, as we know, was a very unpopular opinion. He'd spoken badly of Chelsea during his time at Liverpool. You know, Pochettino never said anything bad against Chelsea. You know, yeah, okay, he's been at Spurs, but you know, if you're going for managers, the chances are they're going to have been at other top clubs, or they're going to have managed your rivals. That's just the reality, you know. And once they're at your football club, you know, what they've done in the past, for me personally, is irrelevant. I feel that sometimes football is just way too tribal. You know, in an ideal world, would you rather him not have managed Spurs? Yeah, sure. You know, but Mourinho went to manage Spurs. Conte went to manage Spurs. Jose went to manage Man United. You know, like, do we hold that against him? No, we don't. Yes, I know, obviously, he achieved a lot at this football club, and, you know, he's been the best manager in Chelsea's history. But, you know, what happens if Tuchel ends up going to Man United? You know, these things happen. It doesn't diminish what they've achieved at the football club. Yeah, away days in Kazakhstan. Here we come. Borat settings. I don't think Gallagher will leave. Let's wait and see. But yeah, for me, you know, I think all things are pointing to Pochettino staying. Yes, you know, these games are going to be key. They're going to be really key. Going to be really keen. For what happens next season. But you know, ultimately for me, it's a shame the season's coming to an end, because we've suddenly built up a head of steam, and we found some decent form. You know, since we lost 5-0 at Arsenal, we've had 3 wins and a draw with some difficult fixtures in there. So I think we can be pleased with the direction the club's heading in. And as I said, I think with the right another year under Pochettino, I think with the right pieces of the jigsaw added, and key players, you know, staying fit for the remainder of the season, I think the narrative around Chelsea will definitely start to change next season. Will 100% start to change next season, and we're not as far away, people, as we may think. We are not as far away as you may think. In terms of competing in a top 4, yeah, we're still a way off Man City and Arsenal. Absolutely. You know, no denying that. But in terms of, you know, the best of the rest, you know, Liverpool going to be in transition, as I said. I think there's every chance that we can compete in that top 4, and maybe even push for a 3rd spot. You know, you just never know. But mate, Chalobah's under contract until 2028. There's a club option for a further year. So yeah, Chalobah's under contract until 2028. Let's move away from the Pochettino stuff then. Let's quickly, someone mentioned that Enzo Fernandez had been speaking, and then some Enzo Fernandez quotes had come out in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes. Let's pull these up. Let's pull these out and see what he's been what he's had to say. He's been talking about right. Let's get this up. So Enzo's been speaking, obviously, I think on Chelsea, on his recovery and all those sorts of things. When I arrived at Chelsea, it was all hullabaloo. I can't imagine he said hullabaloo. I think that's just the translation. Many players, Mauricio Pochettino gave the team an order, an identity. The idea of work is different. Everything changed, positive for the group. It's a more serious and hard-working group. That again goes to what I was saying. You know, that indicates the issues that were at the club last season. The group weren't serious. They weren't working hard. Too many players are down tools. And it's good now that the group's working hard. They're serious. And that's what you're going to get when you've got players that all want to be at the football club. That's the big key here. That is the major key here. What else has he been saying? Let me just find this. Oh, let me just find this now. I'm very good, evolving day by day, looking forward to the Copa America, thinking about that. I've already started training on the field with a ball and everything. I'm very advanced in my recovery. I will already be in Argentina and training on the premises. I just hope, for his sake, that he's not rushing the recovery. They're not pushing it through too quickly. You know, there's plenty of time. The Copa America is not until this summer. Let's make sure, that, perhaps a little bit cautious. I don't know if it's going to be down to him or if it's down to the Chelsea medical staff or the Argentinian medical staff or whatever it may be, or it's a collaborative process or whatever. But yeah, let's hope he's not rushing his recovery. But it's good to see that things are going well and he's potentially ahead of schedule in that regard. Sorry, people. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, back in the mix. Pressed the wrong button. Apologies. Yeah. Let me just bring these Enzo quotes up. Where were we? Yeah, here we go. So yeah, that's all good in regards to his recovery. And then what other important quotes have been taken from here? Again, this is another issue. The possibility of going, and I would love to go to the Olympic Games. It's Chelsea's decision, and I have not spoken to them yet. I will respect the decision of Mascherano, and after that, we will talk about it. This is the problem. This is the problem. Like, as much I get it, the Olympics for South American countries is a big deal. It's a lot bigger than it is for, say, than it is in like the UK. We don't even send a team or whatever. But the thought of Enzo, playing Copa America and then playing Olympics, having a disrupted pre-season, not really having a break, and then, coming back late to Chelsea, starting this season, potentially tired, it's going to, if I was the club, as much as it seems a bit shit, I would be saying to Enzo that, look, I'm sorry, the Olympics can't happen. There's other players there's other players as well that could be called up for the Olympics. I think there's Malo Gusto, Mikhailo Mudrik's available, obviously Enzo, and there's a few others that I can't remember that could absolutely be involved in the Olympics, which would really cause us issues, because you have a number of players reporting back late, not had a proper break. The chances are that these guys would have played in the Euros and in the Olympics as well. It's just not helpful. It's just not helpful. I was playing with pain and injections for 8 months. I had to make the decision to have surgery. It was the best. I was harming the team and didn't want to expose myself. I do wonder whether he would have had the surgery sooner had we not had so many midfielders unavailable due to injury. When we were down to Caicedo, Gallagher, and Enzo, would the surgery have taken so long to have? No, I think if Lavia had been fit, if Ugachukwu had been fit, I honestly think that, you know, there would have been a situation where we where Enzo would have gone for that surgery quicker, and he could have been playing again this season potentially. Yes, big up, big up. How about Gusto and Reece on the same side? I mean, it can work. You know, if you play a back three, you could play Reece at right centre back, Gusto at right back, right wing back. You know, you can have Reece at right back. You can have Gusto ahead of him a bit further on. There are options, but look, I think ultimately the most important thing is that we've got good strength in depth in that position, and that's kind of the quality and depth that we need all over the pitch. There'll be plenty of minutes to go around for the pair of them. You know, touch wood, Reece doesn't get injured, but you know there'll be multiple competitions. You know, there'll be rotation, and Gusto, only 20 years of age, there'll be plenty of time to for him to play. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I don't think so, mate. We have some good problems to say the least. Yeah, exactly. All you want is the manager to have selection headaches. That's good, and we're starting to get a few. Which is good. You know, even you notice at the weekend the options from the bench, having the likes of Sterling and Kunku, Gusto, James on the bench. These are all big pluses, you know, options that we've not had from the bench. And, you know, we have got some genuine game changers on the bench now, which is a big plus. Guys, 155 in the building. Big up to every single one of you locked in. Only 71 likes though. Let's get this to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Smash that thumbs up button. And guys, we're climbing towards 9K. There's definitely loads of you in here that haven't subscribed. What are we on? 8,988. There's 12 to go. Guys, if you're in here now and you've not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It would really help me out. Join the community. We are 12 away from 9,000. Let's get this done now. Let's get to 9K. 12 away, people. Do your thing if you're not subscribed. Please, I'd really appreciate it. I see we do not actually need to sell. No, that's according to Ornstein. But that's only to be compliant with this year's FFP. I think potentially there will need to be player sales to be compliant with FFP for next year. But again, that doesn't really matter because we are going to sell players anyway. So it really doesn't make a difference. We saw Reece, the impact Reece can have on the game after being out for 6 months. If he goes and gets another season, look, they're all ifs and buts. But yeah, this is really important for Reece that he comes through unscathed and he can put together pretty much a fully fit season next season, because he's not been fit for a full season since he was on loan at Wigan. You know, it's been a long time. No, 6th not guaranteed because as I said earlier, if United win the FA Cup, then the second Europa League spot will go to them, and then 6th will become the Conference League, and 7th gets nothing. Yes, big up, mate. I think we just need one more experienced centre back. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to play a back three necessarily. No, not before June 30th. No, I don't think so. I think once Silva leaves, we go to a back three. Thing is, though, like, I don't really want Reece playing in a back three, purely because, you know, what he offers going forward is so limited from a back three. You want him in the attacking third doing his thing. That's exactly what they want. Yeah, but because of the coefficient, you know, we're getting less European places because of how we performed in Europe this season, I think. But West Ham were only in there because they won the Conference League. That's why they were in there. They got a space because they won the Conference League. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not sure. If we get European football, what happened? Well, the UEFA the UEFA financial fair play rules are actually less strict than the what do you call it? Than the Premier League one. So I think we'd actually be compliant with FFP. That's the reality. I think we'd be compliant. So yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. Again, this is what David Ornstein said. It's not been confirmed or any. Look, he's obviously got that information from somewhere, but that would be massive. But I still think they'll want to. They're still looking to sell those academy players. I don't think there's any escaping that or any getting away from that. That's the reality. No, he hasn't been better than Rice this season. No, I'll be real. Look, Caicedo's massively improved this season, massively improved, and has been putting in some top performances for us and showing why we paid the money for him. But if we're being real, Declan Rice has had a better season than him. Rice has transformed that Arsenal midfield. He's been exceptional. So yeah, you know, there's no. I can absolutely admit that whilst Caicedo is massively improved, you know, and it's going to be a top player for us, Rice has been better than him this season. Not really bothered. Yeah, he's done all right. Fair enough. He's done all right. Again, not sure how true that is, but I spoke on that earlier. It's not a big deal in my view. Not a big deal. You know, it's another one of those kind of not bending the rules. It's taking advantage of an option within the rules. Caicedo is an underrated passer. Yeah, no, he has. That pass for the Jackson goal was legit. It was absolutely unreal. What a pass. If it's true or not, I don't know. No, I'm not sure if it is either. Rice been better for sure, but I've loved Caicedo for us. I agree. Reece wouldn't have to run as much as right centre back. Yeah, but again, you know, let's wait and see. Look, these are all good problems to have. All good problems to have. But yeah, anyway, let's move away from this Enzo stuff. And let's talk about injuries, because you know we love injuries at Chelsea. That's what we do. That's one thing we've excelled at over the years, and this is quite ridiculous. And people that blame, you know, Pochettino for the injury problems. Where were you in 21-22? Were we blaming Thomas Tuchel and his training methods and his way of doing things for all those injuries we picked up? Were we blaming Graham Potter last season and Frank Lampard for all the injuries that we picked up? No, we weren't. So why, when we get to this season, where okay, we're still having a lot of injuries, but why is it suddenly all Pochettino's fault when under Potter, Lampard, and Tuchel, no one ever blamed the manager? Which is interesting, really. Which is interesting. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that Poch's training methods potentially don't contribute to those issues. I'm not saying that, but you know, they could well do. I think it's a collaborative problem between, you know, everyone at the club. But you know, look, I mean, that 21-22 season was an absolute joke. I mean, I don't know how we won the Champions League in that season with where we had 97 injuries over the course of the season, which is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. It's incredible. You know, we've had over the last 3 seasons, we've had the most injuries in the Premier League. You know, that's not no, 21-22 was the season we won the Champions League. Was 22-23 was last season. So 21-22 was the season we won the Champions League. I'm pretty sure it was. What, champs was 22-23? Nah, it wasn't. We won the Champions League in 2021. I'm just going to check this because I'm not going mad here. Chelsea Champions League. Yeah, we won the Champions League in 2021. Oh, yeah, but it was the 2021 season. Yeah, I got you. It was the 2021 season. Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably say Andrey Santos. To be honest, I think he's really proven himself. We're gonna get stuck into him a little bit later on. Nah, we did win it in 2021, but what I'm saying is, obviously I got the season wrong. It weren't 21-22, it was 2021, but it was still 2021. So yeah, I didn't get the year wrong. No, I think that's a contributing factor as well. When you look at that this is my point about why is there this narrative around the injuries this season that it's all the manager's fault, when in the previous seasons, Tuchel, Potter, Lampard as well, it wasn't their fault. No one was questioning those training methods. No one was questioning, what they're doing. It's a strange one, which I, to be brutally honest, I don't understand it. Like, why is there that? Why is there that change? Why is there that change? It doesn't make sense. Suddenly, because Pochettino had, like, there were like reports of certain players at Spurs saying the training methods were contributing to injuries or whatever. Like, it's interesting, but this is not a new problem. This is not a new problem. And yes, the injuries have been shocking this season, but actually, compared to the last 2 seasons, it's been the least injuries we've had. We've had less injuries this season than in the previous 2. But people weren't blaming Tuchel or Potter. So then why is suddenly Pochettino being blamed for all the injuries now? That's what I don't get. Where were these complaints at the manager's training methods under the previous managers when we were picking up more injuries? Why were people quiet back then, and why are they now saying that this is the manager's fault? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But the big problem though is that, as I say, is how are we going to get to the bottom of this? This is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Man City, won the treble in 22-23. They had 40 injuries. This season, they've gone deep in all competitions. Well, they're in an intense title race. They're in the FA Cup final. They've played a lot of games this season, and yet they're hardly picking up any injuries. I don't understand it. I do not understand it, guys. That's the reality of the situation. I'm not getting it. No, I'm really not getting it. So, yeah, that's again just to highlight the injury issues, because the injury issues are an absolute joke. An absolute joke. Hopefully this total doesn't go up any higher, but to have 219 injuries over 3 seasons is ridiculous. That's what, 84, 94, 204, 214. That's 45 more injuries over 3 seasons than anyone else. And 45 injuries is more than anyone else in that. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And we need to get to the bottom of this. Something has got to be done. We need to get to the bottom of this, because I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. But it's an interesting thing to highlight. I know there's been a few graphics doing the round, but it's a serious concern for Chelsea. A serious concern. Really, really, really poor. And the numbers are absolutely remarkable. I mean, I've never known anything like it. Sort of when you're winning, I guess you kind of ignore the injury concerns, but like, it is mad how many there have been, and there's no escaping this. There's no getting away from it. This must be addressed, and I know the club are trying to do stuff about it, but ultimately, like, do we know if that's going to work? Is it the injuries that are a problem? Is it the pitches that are a problem? Does a surface need sorting out? I don't know. Yeah, mate. We've got this is serious problems. We've got the most injuries by the league by an absolute country mile. I don't see you. Do I see your boys in this? Where are your boys? Yeah, look at this. Forest 18th in the table. You've had 10 injuries this season to our 54. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have a moan about injuries. Absolutely, mate. What else have we got? Anyway, but yeah, again, could it potentially be, a situation because we've signed a lot of younger players and have not fully developed into their bodies and whatnot, and their bodies are still growing? Is that a contributing factor? I don't really know. I'm not a sports scientist. I'm not an expert on any of that. So yeah, look, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's a major issue. No, these are legit injuries. Like we've we've had a lot this season. I mean, obviously they'll put what like it will if someone's missed one game, I guess it goes on the list. But yeah, it's yeah. There's most of our injuries have not been short term. They've been huge long term injuries. So yeah, mate, we don't do short term injuries. I'd be absolutely delighted if someone was out for a couple of games. I'd be absolutely delighted, mate. But yeah, it has been a problem. There's no denying it. There's absolutely no denying it. And I think without that many injuries, we would be pushing for those Champions League spaces. So I do absolutely believe that. But again, though, I'm not sure it is, because this season we've had less injuries than the previous two seasons. So, it's interesting. It is interesting. I guess we'll never truly know what the real reasons are. But one thing I absolutely do know is this needs to be addressed ASAP, because it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Andrey Santos. Yeah, Nicholas Jackson is very underrated. I absolutely agree. Someone that, by the way, mate, if you're still here, you boys took him on loan and you didn't want to use him, which was a strange one, because he's a talented boy and he's now showing it. Fabrizio saying that Chelsea are very happy with Andrey Santos' development as he scored a key goal in injury time against Metz, his first for the club in the derby. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I'm so disappointed that it didn't really work out for him. I am really disappointed, but. Look, I guess, maybe your gaffer, but also I don't think it helped the fact that after you signed Santos on loan, you also signed a load of others, like a few other midfielders, which probably didn't help. But I am surprised that he barely got a look in at all. And now at Strasbourg, he's doing really well. He's been voted Young Player of the Month in Liga for March, and he was also Strasbourg's Player of the Month for March. Is it April? No, from April. Yeah, that is that, isn't it? That's exactly it. Yeah, Player of the Month for April. So yeah, he is showing his worth. He's absolutely showing his worth. And it's going to be interesting to see what Chelsea do with him next season. A new loan is going to be discussed. Another season on loan at Strasbourg. He's only 20 years old still. Would he benefit from another season on loan there? Yes, potentially. I'm wondering if we should get him to go back, if we can get him to go to the Premier League on loan again. Are we guys, we're on 8.99 now? How many away are we? How many away are we? Guys, we're 3 subscribers away now from 9K. There's definitely 3 of the 160 in it that have not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching now, hit the subscribe button, people. We are 3 away from 9K. Let's make this happen now. Let's make this happen. Chilwell should go away. He can be sold. Let's wait and see. He's doing very well with Strasbourg. He needs to stay, and the physicality between the Premier League isn't far off. No, I'm just wondering. I'd have no issue with him spending another season on loan at Strasbourg, but I also think, would it be better for him to have a Premier League loan? But again, what club would he go to that would suit him well, and that he would play at regularly? That's the big thing. That's the big thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that front. That is the big thing. That is the big thing. Big up, people. We have smashed the 9K subs. Nice work, guys. We have hit 9,000 subscribers. Big up to everyone that has supported. Fantastic. Greatly appreciated, guys. Road to 10K, not far away now. 9K subs is up. Big up to everyone for the support. It is greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, what this geezer said. What Drizzy said. Yeah. To be honest, mate, I think he can play both. I think at Strasbourg he's been more playing as a number 6, but I think he can play. He can play as a number 8 as well. He done really well for us in pre-season this season, which is still why it's really strange that he just didn't get a look in at Forest. I thought Forest would have been a good loan for him, a club, a good club for him to go to and get some good experience, but it didn't work out. I'm not quite sure why he's gone for the Lionel Messi celebration, holding the shirt up. I'm not sure of it, doing it in the Bernabeu, against Real Madrid is something when you're the best player in the world. Doing it when you scored a last-minute winner against Metz in a derby, it's your first goal for the club. I rate it, but yeah, it is what it is. But I've done it, maybe not. But fair play to the geezer. Fair play to the geezer. Yeah, mate, I'm just not sure if I think that the bridges might be burnt there. I'm not sure if there's a way back. I'm not sure if there's a way back now. But I'm torn on whether we should go with whether we should stay on loan at Strasbourg next season for a full season, or we should try and get him a Premier League loan. Maybe would that be best for his development? It's a tricky one, but Chelsea are really pleased with how things are going with him. There's an exciting player there. There's ability there. There's potential there. These are all things that are going in the right direction with Andrey Santos. And, Matt Laws said that, Chelsea are excited at the potential in the midfielder. I think we signed him for what? 15 million quid or something like that. Which is not bad at all. I think we signed him for 15 million quid. It could have even been less, to be honest. It could have been less. So let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, Santos is definitely doing a really good job at Strasbourg, and long may that continue for the remainder of the season of what's left. Liga Young Player of the Month, Strasbourg Player of the Month. He's settled in Europe really well, and I do believe that he's going to be a huge player for Chelsea in the future. The talent is definitely there. But as I've said before, it was 12 million. But as I've said before, it's all very well having these guys and being excited by their potential. Where is your development pathway for these guys to the first team? That needs to be set out, because again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many talented youngsters you sign, how well they do and how well they develop as players. It's a complete waste of time if there is no pathway to the first team and a chance of minutes and to play regularly and make it at the club. It's completely pointless otherwise. Completely pointless. And again, where do all these guys fit in? That's another big thing. Where do these guys fit in? I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions at the end of the day. But luckily, I'm not paid to offer dinner, but make sure you stay ahead of United. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yep, guys, I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. Love coming to the City Ground. Looking forward to returning next season, and glad it's not going to be moving. Get the Greek Godfather to pay that 10 mil for the freehold, and then you can stay there. One of my favourite away days. Nah, thank you, bro. Greatly appreciated. You boys coming up to 20k soon, so yeah, congrats on all the work you're doing, and yeah, looking forward to doing it again. Next season. Yeah, Santos. It's going to be. I'm looking forward. I'm excited to see what the plan is for his development. I'm looking forward to seeing what the plan is for his development. So yeah, I'm gonna be excited. It's interesting. It is interesting. So let's wait and see. So yeah, I'm excited for that. No, I'm not paid to make those decisions on what the plan is for Andrey Santos's fucking future at the club. If I was, great, but I'm not. That's not what I'm paid to do. Do you think you'll hit 20k next season? Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't even hit 10k yet. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Think big, dream big. Let's see what happens. Does he have Gallagher? Does he have Gallagher's run? I don't really know. I mean, look, there's so many options here. Again, Chukwuemeka, another really talented boy. Where do all these guys fit in? That's the that's the big question. Where do all these guys fit in? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to the questions. That's the thing. Santos, Caicedo, and Casadei, all of them would be our best midfield. Would they? I'm not really sure. Again, I don't really know about Casadei, but then you've got Kendry Pires, you've got Esteval Willian that could be coming as well. I'm just thinking, Jesus, what's the plan with all these guys? We've got Ugo Chukwu still. You know, it's mad, absolutely mad. No, all these youngsters aren't going to play for Chelsea. They don't have to. The very best will, but you need to have a clear pathway to show that there is an opportunity for these guys to get into the first team if they're good enough. Yes, I'll be at Brighton on Wednesday night, final away game of the season. Looking forward to it. As always, Lavia for me is going to be a big player for Chelsea, a massive player for Chelsea. You know, and I think he really. I think he's really going to make a difference to that midfield next season. Whether he plays in the pivot, whether we play a 3-man midfield, just to have those options is going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely huge. You know, absolutely huge. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how he's going to fit into the midfield, what the plans are, but look, these are good problems to have, by the way. How many times have we screamed for these problems this season? We have been desperate for these problems. We've dreamt of days like this, having actual selection issues. Who should start? Who should be on the bench? Any news about Jack Grealish? No, nothing about Grealish. That was just something that kind of did the rounds. Was potentially a name that had been discussed internally, but there's nothing more on that. Face it, 2 of the current starters, squad players, need to go to vacate the space for a few of these, man, and still some of them. Yeah, look, we all know, I think, that these youngsters weren't going to make it. They weren't going to make it. Not all of them. Some were going to be signed and sold on for profit. We get that. The very best will make it in the first team. That's always been the plan. But, you know, we need to see a development pathway. Nah, he's real. I can confirm Romeo Lavia is real. We need to see him in a Chelsea shirt next season. I really think he can. I really think he can massively contribute, guys. I think there's a lot for him to contribute there. Do you think Palmer will replace Gallagher on the 10 role in the England squad? I mean, Gallagher doesn't play in a 10 for England. But I think Palmer can absolutely. There's definitely a case for Palmer to replace Saka, I think, in the England lineup. I don't think that's a ridiculous conversation to be having. I really don't. Now, the Grealish thing is not strong links. It was just a name that had reportedly been discussed internally. But so many players get discussed internally at football clubs, you know. What else have we got? Top 8 minimum and top 5 a chance. Yeah, top 5 is still on. It's unlikely. I don't see us signing any other position other than striker if Connor and Trev. And yeah, look, Connor and Trev should stay, which means we should just bring in a centre forward. But let's wait and see, people. Let's wait and see what happens on that front, guys. Let's wait and see what happens. But you know, it's exciting stuff, Andrey Santos. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Right, before I round this one out, people, there's a couple of little other small bits of stuff I wanted to go through. Apparently, the home kit for next season has been leaked. We only need a left back if one of Cucurella or Chilwell goes. If Cucurella ends up staying, which he should, and we're not going to sell Chilwell, then there's no need for a left back, in my opinion. Southgate is a terrorist, but not a Gallagher. In the are we keeping Martin? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's done. He's done. He's going. He'll either stay at Dortmund. His dad said he's going to try, and they're going to try and stay at Dortmund. And they've got other options. But yeah, anyway, I just want just to round out with the with this. Apparently, this is the Chelsea home kit for next season. Again, the front of shirt sponsor, I think, will be different, but by all accounts, that's what the pattern's going to be like. And then there's that kind of orange and is that orange and white? I can't really tell. Orange and sort of something color trim on the sleeve. I'm not really sure what. I'm not really sure what I think of that. I mean, I don't really know what I think of the collar. It's okay. It's okay. It's not awful. It's kind of just like, is it better than the current one? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is better than the current one. You know, I think it's a bit. I think it's just an average. It's just an average shirt. It doesn't like, you know, scream at me. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. It's not terrible. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, that's all right. You know, it's just very middle of the road. It's kind of bog standard. If we're being real, it's kind of bog standard. I really like the kits this season. I mean, obviously, I really like the kits this season. Really like the kits. But yeah, the kits this season have been the best ones we've had under Nike. But Nike have produced some absolute shockers for us. Absolute shockers. Will look better on the players. Yeah, to be fair, it always does. It's always hard to tell from these mock-ups. You can get a bit of an idea, but yeah, it is always quite tricky to tell on that front. Do you know what really annoys me is the fact that like sort of freelance kit concept makers can make way better kits than actual designers paid by Nike. It's incredible. I don't know why Nike don't collaborate with like concept kit makers and then we'd actually have decent shirts. But, you know, they obviously know best. No, I don't think he will either, brother. I don't think he will. Kit's like a 6. Yeah. I have seen the away one. It's a bit of a paler color. Again, I'm not too sure on it. Nike design is terrible for me. I prefer Adidas. Yeah, again, I would probably agree. Hopefully Chalobah stay in Gallagher, and please the board give Connor his contract. Yep, I agree. But to be fair, I think Chelsea have played in orange in the past. You know, there has been some level of orange in the kits in the past. But yeah, I just thought I'd quickly bring that one up. Kind of just average, but let's wait and see if there's any sort of tweaks before it releases and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get my hands on the home shirt from this season. I did have one, but it's up on the wall now, framed because I've got it signed by the squad. So maybe I'm gonna have to buy another one because it is a good one. Yeah, I had that long sleeves with a Nelka on the back. What a strip. Yeah, I'll see if I can find that. But yeah, that's the home kit. You know, it's not amazing, but it's not dreadful either. Yeah, Yokohama tires was good. I hope that Riyadh Air would be like Atletico Madrid sponsor Riyadh Air. You know, that I just feel like that would look shit on the front of the shirt. But you know, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Let me check if there's yeah. To be fair, the away kit does look good. It does look good. Let's hope that those are the final ones. They're normally pretty. They're normally pretty good. They're normally pretty good. But yeah, guys, let me just see if any news has come through in the last couple of minutes or so, and then I'm going to round this one. I'm going to round this one out. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Guys, I'm going to round this one out now. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. It's greatly appreciated. Love for the support as always. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed. I do really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Who do you think will turn out to be world class? Hard to tell. I think Kendry Paez has got a huge chance. Let's wait and see. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for tuning in as always. Big up for the love. It's greatly appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow with the Brighton preview, so make sure you stay locked in then. 5 p.m. UK time, Brighton preview. Love for the support. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button on the way out, guys. Get those likes up. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button as well on your way out. Live tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time, guys. I'll see you all there. Thank you so much for all the support. all the continued support that you give. It's greatly appreciated, guys. And yeah, love. Catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea. Peace out. Smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch you guys later.